Hello Wolfpack, this is it. The final 24 hours, 21 hours right now actually, for Bitcoin, in which we will be deciding basically, depending on how low below the close will be, or depending on how high below the 50-week the close would be, whether we'll be entering a bear market or bearish phase in the market on Bitcoin. So look, this is it guys. Buckle up, open up your trading view, and this is just a quick video, quick reminder, open up a trading view, write it down, pin it down, get your alarm set. The 50-week SMA is currently at 47.7k, okay? And the price is currently at 46.6k. We're about 1,100 USD below the 50-week SMA. If we close below that line by over 1%, I would say that's what you need for confirmation, right? If we close below it by 100 USD, it doesn't mean anything, right? By over 1%, that, in my opinion, would go a long way to make a bear market or bearish phase in the market extremely likely, right? So what I mean by that is a bear market in the sense that we trend downwards for about a year to the 200-week SMA, or a bearish phase in the market where we trend downwards like this for a few months before rallying again, right? So, in my opinion, the most likely thing that we will do if we lose the 50-week is actually trend downwards to the 200, right? That's what we typically do. But, you can go ahead and watch my previous videos for more information about that. I've spoken about it way too many times, to be honest, and hence I'm not going to be doing it again in this video, but just a brief summary. Essentially, every time we lose the 50-week, we end up at the 200, okay, within about a year. So we don't want to be doing that again. We don't want to be closing this candle below the 50-week, especially considering that we are on the, tightening, or we have been tightening on the Bollinger Bands, which would suggest a large move, and especially considering the fact as well that we are below the bull market support band. If we can remove the Bollinger Bands and bring this up quickly, sorry. We are below the bull market support band right now, and usually when you lose the 50-week below the bull market support band, that is a very, very bearish sign in which you trend downwards to the 200-week. We've spoken about it many times, not going to talk about it again too extensively. That's the premise of this video. So I'll go to the hourly chart, or the 4-hourly chart rather, and we'll kind of draw a couple lines to show you where we actually need to be kind of trending. Actually, let's go to the Coinbase chart where all my lines are up. Let's go back to the daily quickly before we do that. So as you can see in my daily chart, we have various trend lines, one of which is actually holding for support right now. This bottom trend line that is held through the peak in April and in September. It's actually holding a support right now over the last 4 or 5 daily candle closes, which is a great sign, okay? And so that's holding, that's good to see. We have some support, but you can see that below this line here, we have basically nothing left on Bitcoin in order to, for us to hold anything, right? That's basically the last line of defense. And if we come down to this green box, you would say that that's a strong support zone, and you'd be right. But what the most likely scenario would be if we come down to that green box is a massive head and shoulders pattern that would just further confirm the fact that we'll be heading down to 200 in about a year, in which we just trend downwards afterwards, yep. So, a dead cat bounce would be expected regardless of what happens. And that dead cat bounce very well may take us back above the 50-week, but the point is, if we close below the 50-week, it's very rare for us to, on a long-term scale, actually recover fully and get back above the bull market support band, okay? So, close below the 50-week, that doesn't mean we're going to stay below it. We might come back above in a dead cat, but we're ultimately going to get rejected from the bull market support, which is at 52k currently. I think 52 or 53k. So that's kind of the reason why this close is so important. It's not because we won't see bullish price action. It's because on a longer term scale, we'll be heading downwards, and it would suggest that the all-time high is in for this cycle if we do close below that. So 21 hours, and I want to outline these lines here. So this is currently what I've got on my chart. Let's zoom in actually and go to the 4-hour chart. It's very, very close to call right now, especially with 21 hours to the close. We can't really say what's going to happen. We're just going to be waiting and seeing. There's no point trying to guess. These thick blue lines are kind of a targets here, right? We have 47.6k here. Closing below that would be the confirmation we need that we'll be talking about in a video of Mega Whale tomorrow on the close. And this vertical line here is when the weekly candle closes. So we really are running out of time on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is going to rally, it needs to do it literally now, right? ASAP. We need to get back above this line right now, break above, and do something like that. Or, just get back above the line. Just do something, right? We're running out of time here on Bitcoin, and it's not looking very good, right? Another thing I want to bring up is the fact that if we don't close below it this week, if we close above it this week, say we do something like this, okay, we close above it, but ultimately get rejected from this white line, okay, then next week will face the same problem, right? Until we clear the region and until we get back above this yellow uptrending level of support that I've drawn here. Let's go back to the daily chart so you can see more clearly. We're still in the danger zone. It doesn't matter if it's this weekly candle or not. The fact is, if we close below it on any weekly candle, that's a bad sign. That's why I'm not willing to re-enter the market until the yellow line is retaken, right? This yellow uptrending line, because we're still in a danger zone even if we close above it this week. We need to clear this whole region, get out of this whole sector of kind of price action in the 40k region for Bitcoin, because it's very, very, very risky. And anyone who's telling you otherwise hasn't seen the correlation between the 50-week and the 200, because I would not be entering the market right now. I can tell you that right now. I'd be waiting for a break of the uptrending yellow line, as I've said in multiple videos. And if you're not in the market currently, I wouldn't be even planning on buying until you see the result of this weekly close. If it closed below the 50-week on the weekly, that would be a sign that you're not going to be buying for a long time, right? You'd be buying way down at the 200 if that was the case, okay? So you'd be waiting a long time to get back into the market if you wanted to get the best price possible. So the sidelines is quite clearly the best place to be on Bitcoin right now. As for altcoins, harder to say because we still might see an altcoin season when we see the dead cat bounce. We're just waiting for the bounce. Bitcoin dominance has dropped significantly. We'll do another video on that in probably tomorrow, to be honest, or the day after, because an altcoin season does look slightly likely here, depending on where we bounce for Bitcoin, how high we bounce, and how long the bounce lasts. I certainly wouldn't expect it to be a very strong altcoin season in which we go 10x, 20x. It's not going to be like that at all, all right, because the May altcoin season that we saw in May was actually pretty pathetic. And seeing as we're at a lower valuation than we were in May, it will probably be even more pathetic than May, right? We might just barely get back over all-time highs we made in May. We'll have to see. It might not even happen, right? And that's why I'm on the sidelines, because I'm not confident in anything happening on Bitcoin right now. I'm waiting. Sometimes no trade is the best trade, and that's what we're going to be doing right now. Let's wait for the weekly close. Let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.